Now, before his most iconic role as Gil Grissom from Crime Scene Investigation, William Petersen played Special Agent Richard Chance, aka Agent Douchebag, in William Friedkin's
To Live and Die in L.A.
from 1985. Now, if like me, you've never watched To Live and Die in LA, it's memorable for its performances and a certain car chase sequence I will address later on. But apart from Petersen, it stars Willem Dafoe as the chief villain of the film, Rick Masters. He's accompanied by his very attractive on-screen girlfriend, Deborah Fewer, and like her surname suggests, she has very few lines of dialogue to utter in this film. However, Miss Fewer is usurped by another female co-star in this film. Her name is Darlene Flugel, and she plays Ruth, the CI for Petersen's character, and I will talk about her a little bit later on because she really impressed the hell out of me. Now, the basic plot and premise of this film is Michael Green, who plays Jimmy Hart, is the partner to Richard Chance. He's 3 days away from retirement. His curiosity does actually end up getting him killed. And of course, when Chance finds out, he is pissed as hell, he wants revenge, and he's going to go after Rick Masters no matter the cost. However, he can't do this alone as much as he wants to, so he's teamed up with a character called John Vukovic, played by John Pankow. And what is quite funny about that particular scene is that he's put together with this partner by none other than Robert Downey Sr. That's right, Iron Man's dad makes an appearance in this film, and like his son, probably didn't do it for no fee smaller than $50,000. So along their way in launching their investigation, and I've got to say it's quite a messy, haphazard way these two go about planning their operation to get the goods on Rick Masters, we have some other characters who are throwing a lot of shade into the light. So we've got Dean Stockwell, you know him as Al Calavici from Quantum Leap, playing a very seedy, very dubious lawyer. We have Steve James, a very cool cat, a very handsome black actor who started off as a stuntman in Hollywood, but then graduated into the world of acting, in some cases, or in most, actually out-acting his co-stars. There's a particular scene where he's walking down the street with Willem Dafoe, not fazed at all by this actor. James holds his own. It's amazing. And I think they have about 2 or 3 key scenes together. They're really, really good. Very sad about Steve James. He only lived until he was 41 because pancreatic cancer got the better of him. It is such a shame. The guy appeared in quite a few prolific action movies, most of them B-grade in the early 80s, and even appeared in an episode of Moonlighting with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. And apart from those two, you also have a very memorable turn of a character called Cody Banks, as played by John Turturro.
Damn, looks like Jason King fucked up Kung Fu hot dog reviews.
That great actor, you know him from The Big Lebowski and some other Coen Brothers films. And here he plays a money launderer for Rick Masters and the rest of the criminal underworld. It's actually quite a memorable turn of events for where his character's concerned. And then much later on in the film, we have a sting operation, which goes completely kaflooey. And it's one of those sting operations where you just think it's Richard Chance and Vukovic who are in on the action. It turns out other inter-agency staff are in on the action too to try and bring down this counterfeiting operation. Oh, nice butt shot. Not too gratuitous. Now, one thing when people talk about To Live and Die in LA, it is much talked about car chase sequence. It's meant to be the thing of goodness and greatness. Now, I watched this and I wasn't that impressed. To me, it felt like it was a copy and paste job from Friedkin's masterpiece of a thriller, The French Connection from 1971. Now, you remember that particular scene. I reviewed this movie last year and I'll put it in a link below this video. But you had Gene Hackman doing most of his stunts. He's just pursuing an overhead train in New York City at about 90 miles per hour plus. And Friedkin tries to recreate that again here. It's got all the hallmarks of that French Connection car chase. And lots of close-ups of Petersen doing his driving, which is great. That's what we want to see. go right for the fun of it. Again, I'm assuming he did not get permission from the mayor's office of Los Angeles to film the stunts that he did. It's a pretty effective car chase sequence. It didn't blow me away. I was expecting something maybe on the levels of Ronin in 1998, directed by John Frankenheimer. If you've not seen that, it stars Robert De Niro and Natasha McAlone, and it's a good film. That chase sequence is pretty amazing. Don't forget Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise. That was also another amazing car chase sequence. That was awesome. And I just felt here that they were going for probably style more than substance. Didn't really work for me, unfortunately, but the rest of the film does hold up pretty well in some regards. The one thing I didn't like was the relationship between Richard Chance and his informant Ruth, as played by Flugel, who I mentioned earlier on. She has the appearance of being a blonde bimbo and not serving much else to the story, but she's got good memory recollection, so when Chance has to literally pump information out of her. Now, they have a kind of a twisted relationship. You know, they'll sleep together. He gets what he wants. She doesn't get what she wants, which is more money. She's a single mom. One boy, she's the hostess of a seedy strip bar in Los Angeles. She's just trying to make ends meet, and then she's living on this sort of codependent relationship with Chance. And it's one of the things that makes me despise the character quite a bit. You know, he's meant to be the good guy, but he's erring on more the bad guy side of things. And yeah, I didn't quite root for him in that respect. When we get to the third act of this movie, things take a very interesting turn. That's all I will say on that one. It is a film noir, so there are twists and turns along the way. I was kind of blown away by the ending, actually. It's something about it I kind of knew might happen in the second act of the film, when we are introduced to a particular character who I've mentioned already. And by the end of the third act, it's like, yeah, things are going to continue in an infinite loop, but just done from a different perspective. And I've got to say, if this were a Michael Mann movie, we would probably see a lot more of the seedy underbelly of LA. Los Angeles is just one of my favorite places ever. I've been there twice in my lifetime. It's just great. Now, I do understand there is a 4K release of this film. I also picked up the soundtrack from Amazon as well. So from what I understand, it was printed to a few limited copies. I got mine for about £25, not bad. It's composed by the English pop group Wang Chung. Remember then, Everybody Have Fun Tonight, Everybody Wang Chung Tonight. Awesome song. Now, Friedkin was so impressed with their first album that he wanted them to do the soundtrack for his film. So upon seeing the rough cuts, Wang Chung took one look at it and thought, yeah, we can do this. And they came out with a very memorable OST, in my opinion. It was actually really awesome. And now my final verdict on this movie, a total of 4 out of 5 squishy, yummy, delicious hot dogs. So that is my review for William Friedkin's To Live and Die in LA. Have you seen it? Have you even heard of it? Was it even on your radar? That is the whole point about my retro reviews. I like to bring these for your attention. And if you want to leave a comment below, please do so. Please subscribe if you haven't already, or leave a comment, a like, a dislike, whatever. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your uncles, even tell that guy behind bars about my videos. I don't mind, as long as they don't get in touch with me. That's all good and proper and dandy. So until next time, take care, and take care of your friends and family around you.